Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Punchups. Yeah, I went slower because you were trying to mimic me.
Confused me.
You can't. Yeah, sucked in. This is episode 16. Now you don't know what's happening. It's almost like I got the zoomies. If you've ever seen a puppy, they get the zoomies. And then they get all tired. That's kind of like me. But yeah,
Cool story.
It's been a big week. We've watched two things which are kind of have a similar little bits and pieces in it. It's kind of a little bit of the fish out of water, a little bit of dry humour in there. We'll see. It's a battle off. I reckon it's I'm about to murder your friendship.
Murder my
with
friendship
bots.
with Murderbot.
Yeah, I was trying to get it. Didn't work. But anyway.
Never does.
Moving on. What have you been doing?
Work and Expedition 33. Shit's good, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get around more of it.
Wow.
It's good fun.
Look, I've been chasing my tail this week. It's been nuts.
It's fair.
So yesterday I worked from 8:15 till 9:40.
PM.
And then, yep.
Not an hour.
AM to PM. And then, had to catch everything up. We had soccer this morning. We got football tomorrow. We got basketball, and it's all over there. I'm still trying to catch up with editing. I am so far behind. I think I've got like 8 VODs to go through. It's just insane.
Yeah, shit.
And then trying to learn Penny at the same time. But I was playing Iron Man this morning instead.
Oh, interesting.
I just can't. I was actually having real fun. Both games I went like 20 plus kills in it with like 6 deaths.
It's good against
It was
Bronzy,
actually
so
pretty fun. Oh yeah, it was. it was. I was just floating around. It was pretty fun. Just doing what I wanted, shooting, zapping, and then had the Ultron team up because Iron Man and Ultron had the team up. So yeah,
right.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I haven't played since Ultron came out. Should give it a shot.
Well, he only came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Today for us. So I
The
think it was
healing
like
output doesn't look very good.
my what?
The healing output of Ultron.
Oh, no, but he is kind of like, you got to think of him more as a Adam Warlock rather than like a pure healer. So he helps you push, so you can be like a strategist, more DPS, but also gives you some area healing. Like he has AoE healing. So like he has a shield that those people in those vicinities will get healing. Also, his drone will heal that person more, but also give people healing in that area. And that's it. Also, his ultimate, like he can shoot people with it and it'll do damage and also healing.
Yeah. That's very similar to like Moira's ult back on Overwatch.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the slowest healing of the bunch, but I don't think you kind of are relying on him as your main healer.
Yeah, but
so
it's annoying that people will choose him and then we'll play 2 supports and then we'll lose.
Yep. You can't expect to win them all.
No.
But yeah, oh well. We've got talking of Marvel, we've got Fantastic Four, which is coming out. It's getting closer now. I think it comes out end of next month, I believe, from memory. I think it's like late June it'll come out. 20 something.
No, you're telling the story.
Yeah, I thought you were looking up because you were moving, and normally
I can
do some fact checking.
25th of July.
Ooh, July, okay. So we've got a little bit to go. But apparently Vanessa Kirby, who is playing Invisible Woman, is apparently getting real nerdy for quantum physics now. So she's jumping into the world of quantum physics.
Sure.
Yep.
And what bet she is.
Yeah. We've also got the Elden Ring movie, so it might reunite Kit Connor with the Warfare director Alex Garland. So they will be helming up the Elden Ring adaptation, which is a bizarre choice to do a video game adaptation. I just still don't.
Yeah, talking about it last week. It really depends on how they're going to go about it, but
yeah,
I'm keen.
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty slow, really, in the movie realm at the minute. Although we did get two big. We got obviously Lilo and Stitch out, and apparently the new Mission Impossible is also very good. It's very long. It's almost like 3 hours for the new Mission Impossible. People are saying it's really good, but it goes for too long. If they cut it down to like under 2 hours, it would have been real good.
Sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. Look at that. I didn't even make you watch it.
No, you didn't. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very blasé.
I'm really tired today. I don't know why. My mind's on other things and games. I don't know anything all day but play Expedition.
Okay.
I also heard that the new fucking, what's it called? King of Kings, the Jesus movie, is doing amazing in the box office, which kind of annoys me.
It's been out for ages now, though.
It's been out for a while, since April.
Yeah.
But I know. I should say it did amazing at the box office then.
Yeah. King of Kings gross profit. It did incredible. The animation of Kings of Kings has grossed 67 million worldwide. So this includes 60 million from domestic theatres and 7 million from international markets. The film budget was only 25 million. So therefore a gross profit of 42 million. It's pretty good for...
I heard it's the highest grossing South Korean film ever.
Oh, really?
The highest box office for any South Korean film, beating Parasite.
Yeah, right.
Which I didn't even know it was South Korean until I read that headline.
Right. I didn't know it was South Korean either.
No.
Which is, for a Charles Dickinson adaptation,
not his name.
South Korea is... what's his name?
Just Charles Dickens.
Sin. I don't know. But
I'm just surprised that it's done so well. 67 mil worldwide.
Yeah, it's also the highest grossing religious animation film.
That makes sense.
Because before that was The Prince of Egypt, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was Prince of Egypt. Because the other one was Star, which is another one I remember, which was telling it from the donkey's point of view, from memory.
Oh, right. Was it you who was mentioning that a little while ago, or was it my partner? Because I remember the highest grossing religious movie is Passion of the Christ.
Oh, yeah. I said animated.
Oh, did you? Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, because that was Mel Gibson, the old Passion of the Christ.
Yep.
I heard really good things. I actually haven't watched it, but
it's
people do
propaganda.
say
I don't give a fuck.
Okay. just saying. It'd be like Punishment Week. I'm going to make you watch it.
If you want to go religious, you could say that 1997 Hercules is the number one animated religious film.
How so?
It's animated, and it's about the Greek gods. So it's religious.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about Greek gods. What do you mean? Is it?
Is it? What's Greek religion called?
You just said it in yourself. Greek religion. It's religious.
Is that what it's called? Do they have like Catholics and that in Greece?
You didn't say Catholic. You said religious.
Okay. I'm asking you a question because I don't know.
Well, no one follows the original god, the original Greek god pantheon anymore. Most Greeks are Greek Orthodox, which is
I've heard of that before.
Yep, which is a denomination of Christianity.
Okay. Yeah.
But doesn't change the fact that Hercules is religious.
Okay.
I just love Hercules.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Great movie.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have any more for these facts or what?
No, you asked me a question. The highest grossing animated religious film is Hercules.
Okay. I don't know. Let's move on.
Go on.
I got nothing.
No, I got nothing. There's nothing else for you. That was my only piece of movie news, and that was the facts. You're talking about highest grossing animated religious film, and it's Hercules. The end.
Okay, calm down. I'm not arguing the point here.
It sounded like you were.
For once.
Because you were trying to ask if it counts as religion or some shit.
Yeah, because I wanted to know. That was like a clarifying question.
Yeah, and I gave you the answer. And then you were like,
I didn't know. And then you got super defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Like, oh, okay.
You were like,
you are defensive.
On
That's
it.
why you're so. Yeah, because I didn't know. I'm computing.
But you
like
have to
a
ponder.
robot.
There's a fact.
Oh, right. I'm sorry I struggle with my emotions. Jesus. Oh, let's get into our first one off the ranks then, because I got nothing more to add to that. Which is a TV show which is adapted from I'm assuming it's a book series, because
it is, yes. Novellas, supposedly.
Okay. Our very close friend Jimmy did ask us earlier on. He was like, "Yo, when this comes out, can you guys review it?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Sure." And then I remembered it, and then Lawson forgot about it.
Yep.
So,
you're a better friend than me.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So that means, yeah.
Only for some things. Don't come for me for emotional support.
No.
But no. This was my pick of the week because the trailer looked interesting. It is made by Apple TV, and Apple TV, from pretty much everything I've seen, I haven't seen all their stuff, but most of the things I've seen they have kicked goals with.
Yeah. Most
of their things. They don't put out heaps of things, but the things they do put out are generally to a
yes, because they don't have the same
standard.
The same fucking mentality as Netflix, where they just put money into everything. Like Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Apple actually seemed more selective.
They never used to be like that, but I think they just got so big that was like, here you go. Just away we go.
I think it came from like Squid Game. Because I
reckon they were doing some trash stuff before that.
Before that a little bit, but I feel like that was the first time, because Squid Game was one of those things that I don't think anyone really predicted it to be as successful as it was. It's the number one watch show, even more than Stranger Things on Netflix.
Okay. Did The Mother come out before or after Squid Games?
After, for sure.
You reckon? Imagine if it came out before and you're wrong.
Squid Game Season 1 came out in 2021. And we watched The Mother in pod, which we didn't start till 2022 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 2023, so 2 years later.
Jennifer Lopez got onto that train.
Yep. That train, that helicopter, that horse at one point, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That was awful.
She was too.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
She was also in a robot. That was her other one. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was, how the fuck was that called?
I was going to say Electric State, but it wasn't that one.
I never watched that in the end.
No, apparently it wasn't too bad.
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't too bad.
Atlas was the...
Atlas is the one.
Yeah, that thing was awful.
Yeah.
We both gave Atlas a 1. We both gave The Mother... I gave The Mother less than Atlas. Because I found Atlas funnier. Therefore, it was better.
True.
Anyway, Murderbot, go.
Anyway.
Jimmy's listening and he's getting mad already.
He's like, skip. But Murderbot, he's currently got 4 episodes out now. So the last... so 4 came out yesterday.
Oh, I missed it.
Well, today for us. Yeah, it only just came out. So
did you watch 4?
I haven't watched 4. I only just finished 3 then. Okay. But this is about a security android struggles with emotions and free will. Kind of sounds like Reimann, while balancing dangerous missions and desire for isolation. Evading detection of its self-hacking as it finds its place. So this is a dystopian sci-fi future where it's kind of seemed a bit post-apocalyptic from what we saw.
It's hard because we don't see Earth. So it could be quite utopian on Earth. We have no idea. We're on other planets.
Okay. I'm going to go with this like war-torn and people are scrounging to living.
I'm not sure. It couldn't be dystopian if you're visiting other planets.
Okay.
You know, you wouldn't have the funds to go visit other planets if your country's war-torn. Your planet's war-torn. I'm going to say it's utopian. Jimmy, if you're out there, message us.
All right. So utopian future where this company has these security bots, and these security bots, for some unknown reason, are able to go rogue and start murdering people. But mostly these droids are there to protect and must obey their masters, so to say. So we get to see our main
general compliance chip in their head, which more or less kills them if they disobey.
Yeah. So our main Murderbot is our Alexander. What's it? Skarsgård.
Hey, look at you! You pronounced it.
I had to stop and think, and now I've lost my train of thought because I can't pronounce. So Skarsgård is standing there. He's our Murderbot, and he has to follow any instructions. So these guys are like, they're having a party, this mining crew, for whatever reason. I can't exactly remember why they were celebrating. But they were like, yo, lift his hands, and they're like burning him, and we're getting monologue as we go through. So a lot of this is told with the running monologue of the Murderbot. So the Murderbot has been trying to hack his protocols so that he's able to get away from the general compliance, chip in there, so that he's able to do whatever he wants. He's able to hack it, which is really strong first episode. I really enjoyed the
hacks it the first few minutes, which surprised me.
Yeah, so he hacks it, we get to see it, and then he's doing general duties. He is would you say he gets discontinued pretty much? Like I saw him as he's no longer the newest model, so he gets discontinued while this new crew is off on a mission, but they're like anti-establishments, again, anti like all sorts of things, but they do need this deal agreement so that they can go off and do their research.
Yeah, they won't get insurance to do their planetary research unless they have what do they call them? Security bot. No, not security bot. Sec unit. Security unit.
That's the one. Sec unit.
So they need a sec unit, and the company's like, oh, use this one. It's new and improved. And they're like, well, how much is refurbished model? So they go with like the cheaper version, which is our friend Alexander.
Who just conveniently is in the background. So they got this new shiny robot with the lights coming down, and they've got the old unit just chilling on the side. And they're like, how much is that one? He's the cheapest. So
he has to pretend that he's still they keep saying he's damaged, but he has to pretend that he's a regular old sec unit in order to maintain his, if they find out he's broken or his protocol, then they're going to kill him, murder him, dismantle him.
Yeah. So for most of it, we get to see just him in the helmet, as we just think he's a robot. So we're getting that internal monologue the whole time of like, well, what if I did this? What if I did that? And him trying to like piece together all these different things by still trying to run by protocol without them trying to figure it out. But because he doesn't quite understand human behavior and human culture, there's some very dry humor in there.
Yeah, it pays off well. The humor's great. I find it very funny.
I was laughing. It was what is with humans sitting?
Hey, what's their obsession with sitting? Is it a fetish?
Like he's pretty funny, and he's just so obsessed with he's pretty much hacked and downloaded all these shows. So he's watching pretty much Star Trek.
Yeah, that's what's
he's
meant
watching
to be,
Star Trek. Yeah, he's watching Star Trek, and he references all these different things on Star Trek. So he's off protecting these the two people. I forget, was it Pinley and who was the one that gets?
I think it was Bharadwaj. Who was Pinley's wife.
Yeah. So he's up there protecting, but watching shows. All of a sudden, this anomaly, like vibration, etc., comes in. This big sandworm comes out, and then he goes in protecting. While he's watching the shows, he's like, I can't remember the exact line, but he's like, but I've got a big gun.
Yeah.
he's just shooting it. Like,
I just love how often they're like, so why didn't you do this? And it's like, because I didn't give a shit on the inside. Like, I love how brazen, and it's I like that. Like, that's how we are as humans as well. Like, sometimes you ask a question and in the inside you're like, because I didn't give a fuck, but really you have to on the outside maintain professional composure or whatever. Like, even though it's a robot, there's a lot of humanity in that sort of internal dialogue versus external.
Yeah. So the first episode ends with him revealing his face because he saw this on Star Trek, and he's like, I need you to get out of shock, and he needs to protect him. So he drops his face mask, and then they realize that it's like a human body, which is, they seem to be like a Ken doll pretty much. Yeah. There's like an aerial shot later on where he's like 3D printing his wound and stuff, and he's
flat in front like Ken.
And the armor and stuff as well. The first episode I found really strong. I really liked it. I thought the character building and the world building were really cool. Second episode mainly deals with him and the crew. So they're trying to like flesh out the crew and the interactions, because each of the crew has like some quirks. So you have one of, what's his name? David Dastmalchian.
Who I love.
He plays a guy that's kind of suspicious of the Murderbot, and has a neuro link, and he's able to go through the data and stuff. So it's like a
cyborg almost.
Like a human version.
They call him an augmented human, I think is the word they use.
Okay, yeah. So he's sort of like switched on and suspects that there's something not quite right with the old sec unit. So I like that little back and forth. But I did get bored in episode 2. I was like, I need a little bit more. Like, it was fun watching the awkward interactions and them trying to piece together, like, how do we try and catch this Murderbot out, or the sec unit out as well? Yeah. Because I was like, do they or don't they? I was like, I think my favorite
moments in the story are when he's interacting with the humans and we're having that sort of internal dialogue. And so I think episode 2 was great. I think they're all pretty solid. I don't feel like one was any more lackluster than the other, but I can see where you're coming from, especially from a person who just wants action shows and whatnot.
I just wanted it to move a little bit. Like, I just wanted it to progress a little bit more rather than like a slice of life sort of.
Yeah. Well, every episode has sort of a leading conflict. And the leading conflict in the second episode is between Murderbot and Garathan.
Yeah. And then episode 3, I'm like, ooh, okay, this one's looking a little bit more interesting. So they're shifting to a new location, and then the recon place isn't giving off any pings or anything, so they land outside of the area, and as they go into search, you can see sec unit go a little bit rogue, and then investigates, but then he finds another robot that is controlling a different robot, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I was like, the big cliffhanger at the end. So I'm keen to see what happens in episode 4. I really like the humour. I like the interactions between him and the people. To a certain point, I was like, I don't want it for the full episode. I like a little bit more progression of the overarching story, which I got in 1 and 3, where 2 was a little bit just too much.
The 2's about his story.
The interactions.
Because if 2 didn't take place, then you don't have all the context of Garathan, being nosy and getting into his inner workings, and I still think it's necessary. But
yeah, I feel like they could have spliced that a little bit, but that's fine. Like, it's not bad. It's just I would liked it to move a little bit.
Okay.
So like 24 minutes episodes, they go really, really quick.
They do.
I was like, whoa.
And because the opening title is pretty long as well, and the closing credits as well. So it's more like 20 minutes, and it's over so quick. Like, every episode felt, getting into it, and then it ends. Not that in a bad way, but just it always felt I was always surprised by the ending. They go real fast. The pacing's great. But yeah, Jimmy told me that they're based on, this is based on like a novella series, so like short stories, which I guess makes sense for the pacing of the show. My one gripe is I kind of wish we spent more time with him as a regular sec unit at the beginning, just because there are times where, because obviously sec units, they're not complete robots because they, he has conscious thought, even before he hacked his chip. So I kind of would have liked a little bit of time with him before the hack so we could know what he can and can't do after. There are times where the humans are talking to him about like, oh, that seems unusual for a sec unit or whatever. And Garathan's talking about certain things that he can and can't do or shouldn't be able to do. And we as an audience don't really know. I just think maybe like half an episode with him as a sec unit talking about like things he can or can't do or his protocol, and just a bit more understanding, I think. But it's a small gripe.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I kind of like not knowing his parameters because I guess that might catch you a little bit by surprise of what he can and can't do. Like it might be a bait and switch here and there. But pretty much once he's hacked it, it's like he's got free reign of what he wants to do. Yeah,
I guess my thing is I just don't know what he should be able to do, what the humans are looking for. Because there are times where, like when he keeps looking at the ground and he hates making eye contact, it's never really explained if that's part of his original protocol, if he doesn't look at humans in the eye, or if that's because his helmet's down. What happens if his helmet came down when he was just a robot? Why do they even have faces? Why can't they just be a suit?
It also looks like they have like lungs and stomach, and like when they're 3D printing him.
Because he said, if I had a stomach, I'd throw up right now. At one point, so no stomach, but they got some sort of organic matter in their guts. Because when he gets blown up, he says something about bleeding. I've stopped the veins and whatever. So some of it's human and some of it's not.
I wonder if they're like actual humans that they turn into sec bots.
At one point, one of the characters asks him about his like biochemistry, something or other. I forget what his line was, but it sounds like they're like clone replications of another like pre-existing human.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but again, Jimmy, if you're listening, I know you are. Message us and tell us, because unless we're going to find out later in the show, because it's also one of those shows where it's nice to discover things with our character.
Yeah.
I think the entire thing as well is shown through... no, it wouldn't, because there's times shown through his eyes and his ability to look through like security cameras and stuff. But there are moments when Mensa is off on that hill on her own before Murderbot sees her, and that we see her. So not so much, but yeah, giving him like an all-seeing eye, almost like a god, like looking over everybody, is a really nice storytelling device as well.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Same.
I resonate heavily with sec unit.
I was listening to Jimmy, and he goes, Cox reckons it's Reimann. And I was like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like eye contact, doesn't know how to manage human emotion, wants to just fight stuff.
Yep.
You need to start saying, I need to go patrol the perimeter. when awkward moments happen, people start crying. You'd be like, I need to go patrol the perimeter.
That actually happened the other day. I walked into an area and I needed something, and there was a number of people, and when you walk into somewhere and you like realize that you've walked into a moment where someone's having a bad time.
Yeah.
But instead of being like, hey, you okay? Or like, hey, I'll come back later. I was like, yo, you got those SD cards? I was like,
this isn't going to my card. Give me those cards, bye.
Yeah. I was like,
oh man,
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
So funny.
Yeah, very much so.
I was like,
And it is nice. I mean, I'm sure it's an intentional sort of allegory connection with autism. Like, you know, why give him the not looking them in the eyes and stuff? Like, I think for a show where they've got characters who are gender non-binary, we've got characters who are in like polyamorous relationships, characters who are obviously gay, lesbian, whatever. We've got, you know, all different dominations of characters with names and stuff are all strange, or strange for like Western culture. Wouldn't surprise me if his character was meant to be a big allegory for autism.
Yeah. There's a guy I follow on TikTok, and it's like he has autism, and he just explains it. He was like, it just reminded me with the tears thing, and he's like, yeah, if like people are crying, like I feel bad, and like I want you to be okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, but if you're crying, you're over there and I'm over here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I connect with this man.
I think I sent it.
You did.
I think you sent
it to a group chat.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah. Where are you at numbers wise?
I really enjoyed it. It would have been an easy 4, but I did get a little bit bored in episode 2. So it's like 3.5.
Sure. Well, I'm at a 4.
Yeah.
Because I think every episode was warranted.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm waiting for it to like ramp up and for me to really give a shit about the characters for it to be a higher rating.
I care about Sek Unit.
Yeah, he's great. It's real fun. I hope they don't do more. There's one moment that I was like, ugh, because I don't like when shows do this, but if they do it once, it's okay. When like he is in the hopper, like the little hovercraft thing, and he like murders everyone, and then he goes back to his head, and it was like an imagination of him killing everyone. Like it's just an easy plot device, you know. It was really obvious. I just hope that they don't do that more often. Once is fine, but if it becomes a regular trope, then it's like it's repetitive and it doesn't have any weight to it. But yeah, I'm at a 4. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
Sick.
Heck yeah.
Oh, awesome pick of the week.
You bet. I've been waiting for this movie to come out for so long, and it still sort of hasn't. Like, I don't know where we can even watch it, but we ended up finding a copy. It's called Friendship. It is a movie. It's the first movie I've ever seen with Tim Robinson. Tim Robinson? Yes. And he has a TV show called I Think You Should Leave. It's just a skit show. You know, skits for maximum like 2 minutes long. Super funny. I've watched it so many times, especially the first season. First season's fantastic. It gets sort of like less and less funny because it's how like absurd it is it becomes funnier in the early ones. But yeah, I wanted to watch this because I wanted to see what Tim Robinson was like as an actual character in a full-length movie. And I fucking loved him. So it's him and Paul Rudd, and they form a friendship. He's like a neighbor who's moved into the town. The synopsis on IMDb: a suburban dad falls hard for his charismatic new neighbor. So it's just like this, you know, he works for an app company. He goes to work every day. He goes home to his wife. Things are very stagnant. He meets this neighbor, and the neighbor's like the cool guy with a bit of money, and he is like a weatherman, and he goes exploring in like tunnels and has like all this, you know, he has like an old fucking like a tool made by cavemen, and he's just like Tim Robinson's character's version of like a cool guy. So he forms a friendship with this cool guy. And then over time, Tim Robinson's character is just so awkward and fucking ridiculous as a human that Paul Rudd is like, I don't think we should be friends anymore. So then it's just like Tim Robinson's mental breakdown over time. And his wife is like hanging out with her ex-boyfriend. His son's a bit strange. and he just has a breakdown over time and just coming to terms with losing his friendship with Paul Rudd, and then he loses his wife, and then his sick son kind of abandons him. He literally loses his wife in a tunnel system, which we'll talk about. And then in the end, things start looking positive again. Not so much getting his friend back, but his wife and that are starting to get back together, and things are looking positive. And then it just ends with him going fucking crazy again in Paul Rudd or Austin's house. He has like a gun and is just screaming at everybody, and it all turns out that it's for Austin's toupee that falls off. It is bananas. And I had a fucking really fun time with it, but there isn't much to the plot. That's sort of about it. But yeah, where you at? It's A24 as well.
I am so confused with how I feel about this film.
Okay.
So the humor, I really enjoy dry humor. It at times reminded me of the less bonkers in-betweeners, like that sort of friendship back and forth kind of.
Yeah.
Just awkward, one's awkward, one's not awkward, that sort of back and forth kind of. More, I wouldn't really call it dark humor, but more that dry,
it's
comedic
absurdist
timing.
No one acts like this in real life.
Yeah. And there was moments where I was like, what is happening here? The overall plot, I was like, am I just watching a slice of life? Is this literally just taken out of this bloke's life experience? And then I was like, is this meant to be a metaphor for male friendships and then being excluded from the male, I don't know, what do you call it, gang or group? Because it's
right.
Tim Robertson is looking for a connection. So from what I gathered from the film, he was sort of struggling with his whole life pretty much. His marriage is as you said, stagnant. He's looking for a connection, and then Austin moves in, and all of a sudden there's a connection where I was like, also, is Austin a bit of a narcissist? Because he was he took him in under his wing, kind of let's go on adventures, let's do this, let's have a jam session. And then as soon as Tim buys a drum kit and then takes it over to Austin's house, he's like, oh, nah, I don't think we should be friends or whatever.
That was after Tim's character went crazy in when they hung out with all his friends, and he was super awkward, and he started just punching Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
it was after all that.
I know, but it was also bizarre. You've brought this guy in, and then you've got I don't know, what's it called, a fight club where it was you putting
no,
people in the.
Just some. You and I have stood in a ring and thrown jabs at each other. It wasn't a fight club.
It was a little fight club.
Just what boys sort of do sometimes when they hang out for some dumb fuck reason.
Yeah, and then he just took it a little bit too far. He just got a little bit hyped.
Yeah. That's why they hyped. But then he the whole eating soap thing that was super strange, and even when they hang out earlier in the night, the whole night was a fucking travesty. I'm sure that I wouldn't let one night ruin a friendship with someone. Yeah,
if you introduced a bloke like that to our friendship group, I'd be like, what can we get this guy to do? What's the next thing this guy's going to do?
You'd find a way to make it fun.
Right. Yeah, I'd be like, let's see what happens. He ate soap. What else would this bloke eat? What's the next thing?
Yeah.
Would you just be like, nah, you're done? Or would you be like, let's see?
It does come across that Paul Rudd's character is very sort of used to ending relationships. He does it so methodically.
Yeah.
So maybe that's intentional, but I don't think he was narcissistic or anything. I think he was just quick to react, put his other friends first. I don't know. Hard to say. Fuck, someone's just banging it outside. Calm down.
I don't know. It's just, that was bizarre. I was like, I'm not entirely sure what the point of this movie is.
It's just absurdist. The whole thing is just Tim Robinson, he plays very similar characters in I Think You Should Leave. Like they're all just ridiculous, over the top caricatures of real life people. And that's sort of what this character is as well, Craig. But what works in this and what works in I Think You Should Leave so well is normally it's amongst a sea of regular people. Like everybody else in this film is really grounded and pretty realistic. Like, you know, Tammy's pretty regular for a middle-aged woman. The son's pretty regular. Austin's pretty regular. Like there are some exaggerations, like Tammy, you know, hanging out with her ex-boyfriend and it meant to be normalized. And kissing her son on the lips and like all the weird affection that Steven gives her, which is almost like couple affection. There's all the weird moments like that. But what makes this work for me is just how ridiculous Tim Robinson is and how his character is so over the top and absurd and everybody else is so grounded. And it, like, even though it's told through his perspective, you're meant to think he's an absolute nutcase. You're meant to be watching this like, what is this fucking guy doing? Even though he's your main character. I love that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. Yeah. Still, I don't know. I'm still confused about it. Like, the humor was good. I thought was laughing. I was just like, what is happening here? Like, I was just unsure. But, you know, it was fun. It was fun. There seems to be a little bit of a trend with the movies that you pick. Like,
I'm curious what you mean.
There's always a descent into madness. Like, there's always there's so many that you've picked that have been like some descent into madness. Like Surfer, that was him descending into madness. And like, there's been others that it's just like, wow, we always follow this person, and they just go progressively worse into
I'm looking through my list now.
That madness phase.
Madness phase.
Yeah, Surfer's definitely one.
Surfer's one. There are moments in this that are similar to Surfer for sure. You're watching this one person just destroy his life for no good reason. So it gives you a bit of anxiety.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. The whole tunnel system thing was just bonkers.
It's weird because like that scene feels like Silent Hill. Like the whole thing of like it does tension well when they're going through the tunnel system with his wife, and she goes, I just love him rocking up home and being alone, and you're like, what the fuck has happened? And then the police come and talk about other stuff, and he's like, where's your wife? She's like, she's in the sewers. And then cut to like all the police and the police dog and everything in the sewers. Yeah. Little moments, like, even though it was an hour and a half, there's all these little moments that just feel like episodes of a TV show or like little skits. I was very surprised that Tim Robinson didn't have a hand in writing this.
It was Andrew D. Young.
Andrew D. Young.
So,
who, looking at his list, like he doesn't have a big repertoire, writing wise. Directing's on a fair bit. But yeah, I was just surprised because this feels like it's written for Tim Robinson. Like I couldn't see anybody else playing this character and it being the same movie.
Maybe he wrote it and then was like, he watched that show and was like, this is the guy I want.
There's potential, yeah. I'm just, surprised that. Yeah, anyway. I also love he licks a toad, like he pays this kid $100 to lick a toad and go on like a ayahuasca trip, soul searching trip, whatever. And he licks the toad and he goes to Subway. His entire trip is he goes to Subway and orders like a whatever it was, foot long. And then he wakes up and he's like, so how was your trip, man? Did it last 4 weeks? It's like, no, it lasted a second. It's like, oh, where'd you go? He's like, I went to Subway. It's like, I don't know. All the little moments. I found this so funny. I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Absurdist. Oh. I like absurdist comedy. Just ridiculousness.
Yeah. Because you used to watch all those meme compilations. of like just randomness. It kind of felt similar to that at times.
Yeah, for sure. I saw someone on Letterboxd compare it to like Step Brothers and stuff. I find Step Brothers like, or that genre, like Will Ferrell and stuff, a lot of that is loud equals funny, and there is a bit of Tim Robinson there as well. Like him just saying "fuck" is part of the punchline sometimes. But I don't know. I feel like this is more clever written, and it's shot pretty nice.
Yeah.
For a dumb comedy. I'm like, I gave it a 4 yesterday, but earlier today I was thinking about it was like a 3.5, but now I'm talking about it again. I'm like a 4. I'm gonna give it like a 3.75. Like to me, it's better than a 3.5. 3.5 is like good, but not amazing. But it's nearly amazing. But it's also, it's nothing new. It's just absurdist comedy. 3.75 for me.
Yeah, I'm at a solid 3.
Solid 3.
Solid 3. Like, I would recommend it to people, but I'm also still personally confused with it.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't like, when I saw the trailers being A24, I thought it was going to be all this like layered, this means this and this means that and whatever, which is fine. Obviously, I like that stuff. But I'm glad this was just, what it says on the tin, ridiculous movie. Here's some funny moments.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted it to be. Fair enough, which means, drum roll, Reimann wins.
Oh, let's go. Taking it
3.75 versus 3.3.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, not terrible.
It's close.
But yeah, I would definitely say that Murderbot is better than this.
Yeah. I know next week, one of us is definitely picking Bring Her Back.
Yes. So keen.
Yeah, so one of us will have that one. And yeah, you know what to do. Listen on Spotify, give a 5-star rating. On Apple Podcasts, the same thing. And YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And we'll see you guys next time. Boys.
Love yous.